Alright, this is going to be a quick video um, about a pattern that I found in the 5 minute chart. So I'm going to try to keep this to myself. This is a part of my strategy. So if I actually take a look at the 5 minute chart here, obviously you see that the market fell here. Okay, I was in a short from up here, closed it here, re-entered here by accident, and I'm still in that short. I think I closed some of it here. But it was 333, pretty much 330s that I entered, and then I entered some more right here. I didn't close it, okay? So there was a triple bottom right here on low volume. I was expecting it to break down. Once I saw this candle right here, I definitely should have got out. I was honestly mentally too lazy to get out. I mean, once you just trade for more than 4 hours, maybe even personally, if I trade more straight trading for more than 2 hours, I get like lazy. Like I don't want to take my loss. I've noticed. So this one here has been straight 4 hours in front of the computer. You know, a lot of times before it was only 12 hours, but so a little bit lazy on that on my part right here. I didn't want to take my loss, and I want to swing it, right? I want to swing it. So, and it could be a bad idea. We'll see. There's some volume right here, seeing like it's support, and here. So basically the strategy, right? So this was the bottom right here. It broke out. Right here was probably the breakout for 21. So it did break out right there on the 21 right there. Let's take a look. So right, even right there, it broke out. It was breaking out above all the moving averages, right? The 21 and the other one, the 89. So now if we go back in our strategy here and we actually go back for the 89 as the resistance, it was perfect resistance, okay? And also it was the 382 for some of the people, or right under the 382. So I mean, we can expect a back test and then another jump upwards to retest the top. And so here's the interesting part. So my strategy is not yet complete when or full when it comes to timing and very tight stop losses, because those go hand in hand. But it is excuse me, close. Like for example, it's just this is the higher time frames, right? So for example, um, maybe that's not a good example. Let's see. The top here was not a good example. This one here was a better example. If you go on the top here, so the bull chart, the bull market cycle looks like it works pretty good here. This one was actually 13. So that's what you have to kind of look for. I was looking for 21. So here's the 89. Excuse me. I thought I had one though. From the top was 26 bars. From here again was 13. So it seems like 13 works pretty decently with this one here. Maybe I was on the 5 hour chart. Let me check. And then I think I was on this top. So 34 worked perfectly right here. So that kind of defeats my purpose, to be honest with you, because of the fact that it's not a part of my strategy on this time frame. Right now we could be in another short or entry for another long, because I think that there's going to be one more wave. So here's the 89. You see that 89? It was pretty much the bottom and then the top here, and then the bottom here. Let's see if it was 89 on the 55. I mean on the 5 hour chart. So no. But yeah, those are the type of patterns that you have to find, and it seems like they really do happen on the shorter time frame, but I just don't know when. right? Like I don't know when. So like for this guy here, and I've noticed this when I was day trading, right? So here's the 13, um, here's the 21, and whenever we, let's say we hit the 89 right here, right? When the 89 does move, we're gonna be right here. So what's gonna happen, right? Are we gonna get a trend change? What's gonna be the deal here, right? What's gonna be the deal? That's all for this video, really. Another mistake about trading too long. I do think it's still kind of bearish when I take a look at the higher time frames. There could be another wave. I'm not too sure. You know, Bitcoin is consolidating right here. It kind of looks bearish to me. Um, this thing looks bearish. Bearish divergence across the boards. I don't know if we're going to break that top. Here's the 13-hour chart. I was worried about this one before we closed. I mentioned in my last video that we could come up here, probably would, and that I should have exited my position. Here's the 3-hour that we're still on this candle right here, right on support, guys, right on support. Very, very tight risk to reward. But the thing is, where would I put my stop loss? Like right here, right? So 0.5, and then we would be aiming for the top of it, which is 2. So that's about like a 5-to-1 risk to reward, unless that we use the strategy that we just covered in. So it kind of looks like this is a leading diagonal wave, and as if I didn't take my profit right here, right? Interesting. Okay, interesting. On the moving averages, it's interesting when you look at your TA and after the fact that it's like spot on, right? Also the 55-minute. So the same deal here, guys. I mean, for the reversals, you know, 3 candles, and I hope I can spring life a new idea that could help me and my strategy for counting reversals. I mean, take a look at this one here. So we are close to this bar, okay, for the 55, and here's the 55 right here, and then so we're starting to go up very fast on the 55-minute time frame. So let's go to 3 hours. A little bit excessive, but I just want to capture and hone into the idea here, because I use specific numbers, and if the specific numbers don't work, then it's not a very good pattern. But if the timing is all good, you know, if this one uses 13, it's not part of my series, but if it uses 13, it uses 13. You know, like, what am I going to do? But this is more so the pattern that I'd be looking at for the 13. It seems like it's getting accumulated with the shorts. Or it's like they're buying to push up the prices, basically, is what I see right now. So pretty much when the 55 hits down here, that's when stuff seems to happen. I don't have enough proof or evidence of that, but that's the thing that I'm going to start focusing on in order to bring me more wealth. Also, to look back in the past and capture moments like this. In 4 days, this thing went up 22%. In 1 day, it went up 15%. Right? To capture those moments and to understand how to trade those moments. Like, you could have bought 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 times without selling and just pyramiding on the way up on a high time frame. That's 14%. Like that's how you're going to make a lot of money real quick on a tight stop loss. And the way how you're going to make a tight stop loss is all about timing, timing momentum squeezes, like right here. That was a squeeze right here. That was definitely a squeeze, as long as you got above that candle. That was a no-brainer, to be honest. And there was a pattern. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 things in here just telling you to go long, like literally right here. Obviously this candle tells it all, but then after that candle, it went up, 15%. So very interesting, very interesting. This looks like a short squeeze. We'll see. Okay, and so yeah, that's all I wanted to say and bring that up. That the 89 was the resistance right here in the past. And it works. It works. That I have enough of sample size, the support and resistances. That's why I added on my strategy on my chart here. But for the timing, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I find that it works like very good on the 1 minute chart. If we just go, but up to, I wouldn't go up to more than 233. 144 seems to be working the best, in my opinion. You know, so here was the top, and here was the bottom of this trend. Is it going to be the bottom of this trend? I'm not too sure yet. You know, update on that video, or on this thing right here. Might as well keep it running. Let's take a look at what happens. But it really is all about the sample size, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go on the 5-minute chart and see, look, I got it all on my strategy here, right here. As I go to the washroom, there's still about 30 minutes. I'm not going to let the run this video for that long, but I am supposed to keep this stuff to myself. And also, if I add a Fibonacci here, it's all about backtesting and having the most variables line up with the 61.8 variables line up with each other, because then that you'll be more profitable with the higher probabilities. It's all about probabilities and risk to reward. Once you get good probabilities and good risk to reward, there's a risk for success, and fast success at that. Especially in cryptocurrencies, when momentum really does swing and start to get 10% swings, that's very profitable. And you can minimize it to 2% swings, because those happens all the time. 3% swings, depending on what happens after a 10% move. Like, you can really um, but you have to focus on one or couple time frames. Like, if you use the 5-minute on that strategy I was just talking about, it's more choppy. Like, you would have probably got emotional and sold out right here. Maybe if you used the 21, it would have been better, right? Where the moving averages would have cleared your head, and it's still up right now, but it's kind of far, but it's still up, right? So it's up to you at this point to be able to know, like, let's say that you did get in on here on the breakout, like, you're guaranteed 11% if it does break underneath here. But you have to, in my opinion, not waste a 5%, right? At least skim some off and expect this to get hit. Here's the 89 trailing upwards. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but this is basically what's been happening. We got hit here, and then we got a double crossover that looks like it wants to be forming a double crossover. I was expecting this, man. I've seen this many times. I hope it doesn't break the highs, because that's kind of where my STL is. Yeah. So this is probably trying to be another fifth wave of some sort, or an ABC. I'm not too sure. This is a lower low. These two are lower lows. So I'm really not sure. I mean, this is 5 waves here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and C, right? For your C wave. So if this is an A, a B, a C, then it's going to be a good trade to the downside. But I'm just saying that you could have compounded 5 more % on your account. That's all I'm saying. Don't be lazy. And it's not guaranteed to go down here either. So it's always good to trade with the trend and really understand what that means. Like meditate on it, right? Meditate on what that means. Um, I might actually add another chart here uh, for the 3. Oh no, that's 4. I said 3. I want 3. Unfortunately, I would like it to be on the left side, but can't always get what you want, can you? How can you drag that? You just can't do it. So it's all good. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart and see what's going on right now, right? So we're at the bottom with a 144, and let's see what's going to happen. Right, it's all about getting like 30 sample size, and that's the thing, man. 30 sample size on each time frame. I've got literally, let me write this down. And whichever, like, you have to, first of all, you have to know what you're looking for, which I'm like kind of certain what I'm looking for. I mean, RSI MACD kind of helps, but the entry points, the patterns, you know, bullish divergence, bearish divergence, but really it's the EMAs and how I calculate the trend. That's going to give me the best risk to reward and the best timing as well. Trend lines help as well. So, so I have 3 time frames times 3 equals, actually I already wrote it down. I have a daily, the weekly, the monthly, and all this time. So on the minute chart equals 3 times 3 equals 9. 9 times, I got the minute chart, the hour chart, the daily chart, the weekly chart, the monthly chart. It's 5. Equals, so 9 times 5. Man, I gotta protect my capital right here, man. Really. You can't be a rabbit and just stay in the loophole. You gotta get out. So that's 45. 45 times 30 sample sizes. Times 30 sample size. That's a lot of, so that's 13. But that's all good. I mean, 10,000 hour rule, right? So 13 perfect trades. And if that doesn't increase your probability of success, I don't know what will. And so, and then you'd have to be looking for, know what you're looking for. And also on the smaller time frames, 30 sample size, it'll be easier to find, but then you have different patterns. Like for example, this one here that I've never really seen this before. At the bottom of a trend, there's a descending triangle. Usually, well, first of all, this is not a leading diagonal, right? This is not a leading diagonal. This is just a fifth wave. But yeah, it'll get support on the fourth wave. That's usually what happens. And I mean, it did, 3%. I'm still not convinced with the volume patterns of what, like, this is definitely, to me, this is distribution. People are selling. But I mean, if they're buying and then they're waiting for a better time to sell, capitalize on it, reduce your risk. And yeah, so we're at about a 0.5, about a 0.5 loss, not including fees right now. But I think I think I will get hit on my stop loss eventually. I mean, on my thing right here. So yeah, you have to know what you're looking for in 35 perfect trades. right? Yeah, that's pretty much it for my little spool right there. Um, and let's take a look. So the 1 minute chart's not the most reliable, but it's the first chart that it starts deciding on, right? Maybe the second charts, but like, come on. Um, you only get a couple of second charts anyways, like 30 second, 5 second, 1 second, 3 second, that's it. You can't do customs on those right now. You might be able to later though. So let's see what happens, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be posting this video because it's kind of important for my strategy. But apparently you could, you know, post strategies in the newspapers and they won't even get used. But I think that this might actually get used. But if it does, then like it's being used is what it is. So yeah, that's it for the video, and here we go on the last minute. Not much action. Um, at all, actually. Not even on the order book, nothing. We haven't got a trade yet. 30 seconds left. So a lot of times it happens like on the next candle or something like that. But we'll see. 20 seconds underneath the moving average. Maybe that's a rule, right? Where you have to build your rules. So that's something else I'll add to my little note here. Build rules. So you see that? How these guys are literally buying like shitloads. Like after 10 seconds more left in the candle, that pretty much tells you that that's what I'm talking about, man. So yeah. And stick to your stop loss. Make sure it's trailing stop loss rules, all this good stuff. Really, if you're going to pyramid, then your pyramid is you're gonna have to pyramid with your stop loss of 5 points. Like those are rules that you have to really write down on paper, and you'll get there. But it's just discipline to actually, like, how bad do you want it? Really, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to succeed?